Hey, this is Russ. Yeah, I'm sorry that the video today has come out late. Yeah. Usually I upload my videos at least the day before and then you get to see it, but too many things were going on yesterday. And so I didn't get a chance to record the video, and here it is Thursday morning, and I'll be releasing this on Thursday. Late. So here's what's been going on. Two of the bikes that I was expecting have arrived. Okay, now these are technically they're two of the same bike, but I have the step over version and the step through version here. Okay, so that has arrived. Thanks so much to Next E-Bikes, who is out in, I think they're in Bolingbrook, Illinois, something like that. Naperville, Bolingbrook, something like that. And yeah, the bikes got delivered to his store, and then they put it together for me, and then they brought it over to my home. Yeah. So thank you so much to them. I appreciate it very much. Now, those bikes are here. I am expecting delivery in about an hour or so of a second brand of bikes. There you go. It'll be the third bike coming in. So this is a big one. Let me say this real quickly. It's a big package. So they are not using standard UPS or FedEx. They're using a trucking company to bring it to me. So stay tuned for that. All right. Now, other things that are eventually going to get here, I'm expecting 2 additional bikes beyond that. Let me take this back. 3 additional bikes beyond that, okay? One of which is the Rad Power bikes. As I mentioned before, I had to place the order to buy that one with credits that I had already. So 3 additional bikes are coming probably either the end of this month or beginning of next month, something like that. And then there's also a scooter coming in. Yeah, Varla scooters. Remember them? They're the guys that had that Eagle 1 that they gave me. Yeah, that thing's like, I don't know, what is it? Like $1,800? It's pretty expensive, right? They contacted me again and said, we have a less expensive scooter. Would you be interested in trying that out? So I thought about it because I think they offered it to me once before and I said no. And then I thought about it. I said, yeah, why not? It's dramatically cheaper than the other one, but it seems to be pretty capable too. It still has suspension and everything. So keep an eye out for that. I don't know when that's coming in. I think I would say within a week or 2, it should be here. Now the problem we have here in Chicago, it's gotten cold again out here. We can't go out. So these bikes are coming in. The scooter will be coming in. I don't have the ability to get out there. It's just a little too cold to do. So as soon as the weather gets better, okay, I'm going to try to get out and do them, all right? Now, I may do what I did before, where I may show you a preview of what's coming and then do the actual review on a different day. That's possible. We'll see how it goes. But I'm kind of keeping my fingers crossed that the weather will turn and then we can actually do the whole thing outside. So that's what's happening here. Okay, now, what else has been going on? Well, thank you so much to you guys for responding a lot on that last video that we did where I asked, questions to the manufacturers saying, why don't we have this? Why don't we have this? Give us better this, give us better that. And I asked you guys to put in the comments, things that you wanted that the manufacturers should be able to put on their bikes. So I did hear back from several e-bike manufacturers telling me that they'd seen the video and that they will do their best to try to implement some of those things in their future designs. So good. Thank you to them and thank you to you guys too. The whole point is that sometimes manufacturers may think about certain things that they would think that people want, but sometimes it's not exactly what you guys want. The hearing directly from the consumers is, I think, an important thing. Plus, I think many of you guys already own e-bikes, and so the suggestions you're giving are good feedback because this is not from somebody wishing to get an e-bike. This is from someone who's already ridden the bikes, right? And said, hey, if this thing did this, it would be better. So every now and then, I think we should do videos kind of like that and to invite the manufacturers to watch those videos so we have a voice. All right. So it seems to have worked. Yeah. So thank you so much to everybody for that. All right. What else is going on? Well, I had a comment that was kind of interesting and I wanted to talk about. And a lot of times I do these videos, they're based on your comments, right? And I do these videos not to point out, something from somebody and to make them feel bad or anything, but sometimes the comments come in and it's valid enough that it's worth talking about. So one came in the other day that mentioned that, how did he put it? I thought it was interesting. I did respond back to him. No, I did not ban him. Okay. Not yet. He said that he was a regular watcher of Russ's Right videos, but he says he kind of sometimes he kind of feels that I'm a snob. A snob? Am I a snob? An e-bike snob? Now his point was basically that the majority of my reviews have always been on the more expensive e-bikes, and that I totally ignored the lower priced e-bikes. Yeah. I guess in that sense, I am a snob, right? Yeah, I don't have a whole lot of lower priced e-bikes, but I do have a couple that I did reviews on. Let me point some of these out. I had the The KBO Flip. Remember that one? That was a folding bike, right, from KBO. $749 on sale right now. So that's in the lower tier, right? And then what else? The Engwe EP2 Pro. Remember that one? That was my second e-bike that was given to me for review. I think that's about $899. And then I think the Engwe E26 is around $1199, I'm thinking, something like that. So I do have some in the, say, $1,200 and under categories. But yeah, I don't have too many things that are $500 or $600. Yeah. Tell me what you think in the comments about bikes that are in the, say, the $500 or $600 categories. Would you buy one? All right. Well, obviously he did, okay, and he bought two of them, and then he pointed it out, and he said, his bike has certain features, which is good. It has the features, and it has LG batteries, okay? So let me address some of these things. First off, the reason I don't usually look at the less expensive bikes, even though a lot of them have been offered to me, because I mentioned to you guys before that I don't know how many, I keep jumping back and forth. It's either between 26 to 28 e-bikes that I've reviewed. I've got to count these things. I try to count them in my head, but I got to write it down and check it. It's between 26 and 28 e-bikes I've reviewed, of which I have purchased now two, both of them being rad bikes, because they don't give it to me. I had to buy my first e-bike I ever had, and then I used credits that were given to me for whenever you've made a purchase of a rad bike. Rad gives me $50, okay? So I took the credits and I bought the most recent one, which I'm waiting for delivery sometime in mid-April, okay? But I've turned down like 117 or 118 e-bikes now. Yeah, I'm not kidding. I keep a spreadsheet of that just to keep track of what's been offered to me. And I look at these bikes, and many of them are in the let's just say sub $1,000 categories. I mean, some of them are $500, $600 e-bikes and the like. And he says that I should be taking some of those in to show people, that there are bikes available in those price classes that might be good. Yeah, I guess I am a snob in that sense. I don't tend to look at those bikes based on its price class, because I kind of know that, even decent batteries, all right, they're not cheap. As we know, if you bought a secondary battery for your bike, let's say you have a bike now and you bought a second battery, what is the price of those batteries, right? Many of them are $500, $600, $700 just for the battery, right? So we know for a fact that, okay, when a company sells a product, it didn't cost them $500 or $600 or $700, right? They bought it cheaper, and then they put it on the bike, and then they sell the bike. So let's say the batteries cost them, I'm guessing now, okay? Let's say the battery cost them $300 and they're selling for $500 or $700, $500 to $700. It cost them, say, $300, okay? Yeah, it's not unheard of. A lot of people make at least 50% markup on some of the things that they have. Some of them less, but let's say 50%. So a $300 cost might come out to like a $600 battery, right? If they're selling it to you. If your whole bike costs $600, I have to start wondering, are they really giving you quality batteries? Because really, I mean, if the whole bike is $600, including the battery, I have to start wondering what kind of components are on these things. So this is the reason I don't go into the sub $1,000 price categories for e-bikes. I just keep thinking something's got to cut somewhere in order for them to offer it and still make a profit to sustain as a company. All right. So is that being a snob? Maybe, yeah, maybe. But but it's also trying to be realistic, knowing costs of certain components and quality of components. Can't really offer bikes too low in certain price classes, okay? Now, it sounded like he had actually purchased 2 bikes on Amazon. I don't know what he said it was. What was it, $399? So I don't know, something like that. I don't know, $399 plus $250 for shipping or something. But he bought 2 bikes, and he only had to pay the shipping once. So the $250, let's say it's split in half, $125 per bike. So let's say that's $400 plus the shipping is $525. Okay. All right, but even if we take the shipping out of it, because many of the bikes that I've reviewed, these companies give you free shipping, okay? Many of my bikes that I've reviewed are $1,500 plus, let's say, in price. Something there is not quite right, right? I mean, where a company can offer something for $399, whereas another company has to sell it for $1,500, okay? Now, if his bike is good for him, that's great, but I kind of have to keep thinking in the back of my mind, something's not quite right in that equation, all right? Either components are cheaper or manufacturing is cheaper or something about it is not perfect. Now, some of the other people I've mentioned these type of things to in the past, I said, what do you think of these lower price bikes? And many of them just come right out and said they're junk, all right? I haven't come right out and said something like that, all right? But I know where they're coming from. They're just saying, based on bikes that we have or we sell, because I've talked to some e-bike companies, I should say e-bike stores, and they don't like them too much, okay? They could be called snob too, okay, because they don't sell bikes in that category, all right? But you have to draw the line somewhere, all right? So what I do is I draw the line at bikes that are too far below $1,000. I kind of look at them and say, I don't know if I trust some of those, okay? Now, there could be bikes that are good in that price class, right? Because we said there 2 of the bikes that I reviewed, which are decent bikes, are in that sub $1,000 class. So he says, but you're not even giving them a chance. Well, yeah, I don't feel comfortable with bikes too far below a certain price range. Yeah, because I know cost factors have to be included, and I always wonder, well, are they giving me the cheapest derailleur? Have they cheapened up this and that? How are they able to get that price down to below $500, including the battery? So anyway, got me thinking, and I said, well, and I have not banned him, okay? He had a legitimate question. And on top of that, he's been a longtime viewer, he said. So, but I wanted to bring it to your attention to get your comments. What do you guys think about these bikes that, let's put it at $500-600 and under, 600 and under, okay? Do you trust bikes like that? Why don't you look at those bikes? If you've bought a bike and it was more than $600, why did you do that? Why didn't you look at those 600 and under price bracket bikes? All right. Tell me your thoughts about that. And then we'll see, that maybe you guys are snobs too. Is there a reason behind that? Why did you spend that kind of money on higher prices on an e-bike? What got you doing that? That's the question of the day. What got you to spend that big dollar amount? Okay. Some of you guys have some fairly expensive bikes. I mean, when I look at the comments, I go, yeah, that's about a $2,000 bike. Okay, that one's $1,800. This one is $2,500. What got you to spend that kind of money? All right, and why didn't you look at those $500 to $600 bikes? I have a cutoff point, right? Yeah, I don't tend to trust bikes that are too cheap, right? Those are my reasonings, all right, because I don't trust the battery. Now, he did mention that it says his bike has LG batteries. Let's talk about that. I've had companies who claim that they have certain types of batteries, and then I've seen videos where these guys have said, they claim they have these batteries, then they open up the battery pack and they find out that that's not what's in the battery. Every time I think about those comments, I think of, are they really doing that? And besides the batteries themselves, the construction technique is half the battle. I mean, I could take the most expensive batteries, and if I'm a lousy soldering person and I can't build the battery well, that battery's going to blow up, right? I mean, if it shorts out, it's going to blow. So you have to kind of trust also that the manufacturer who builds the battery not only uses decent quality cells, but that his construction technique is perfect. Okay. So anyway, that's all I have for you guys today. I just wanted to bring out that comment to you. I just wanted to get your feelings on bikes that are, let's put it at 600 and under. What do you think about those? And would you buy one? Would you consider one? And should I review those? Okay, now first off, I did mention to him, and then I'll let you go. I don't trust some of the batteries, and I wouldn't take a bike in and risk my home catching fire, all right? Not that we say that all those batteries are going to catch fire, but I'm just saying that somehow I tend to trust the more expensive bikes and the manufacturers that we know over bike brands I've never heard of before. And, I have a gut feeling that somewhere along the line, even if they claim a certain type of battery, sometimes I just don't trust that, okay? I don't want to risk my home. I mean, if you think about it, I've had a lot of bikes in the house, and I still have a lot of bikes in the house, even though I sold a number of my bikes. I have to still keep that safe, right? So my trust factor is not quite there. So because of that, maybe I'm a snob. I'm an e-bike snob. Anyway, put a comment. Let me know what you think. If you like this video, go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Sorry it was late today. Talk to you guys next time.